I'm doing today 5 in 5 McLaren Vale Grenache. These are 5 wines that came to the very top of a tasting that I did last week. All Grenache, all exciting, and these were the best on my scorecard. Now, we're going to talk about them in a minute, but something I just want to get clear first is what McLaren Vale is doing is really unique to McLaren Vale, because Grenache is grown well in South Australia, like Barossa Valley, excellent, Eden Valley, excellent, McLaren Vale, superb. But what these guys have done have really honed a regional style, which is really thrilling and quite unique to the area. You don't get Grenache like this from outside of McLaren Vale, and that's what I'm here to talk about today. So firstly, you've got Grenache, the grape. We talk about the vine and what it wants to do. It wants to throw lots of crop. It wants to grow kind of vigorously. They just go mad in the vineyard, and the trick is to limit them, to limit the growth, to limit the vigor. And what that does is limits the bunches that it throws and therefore increases the intensity of fruit that you get in the final product. The second thing that you want to do is pick at the right time, and in the winery, balance the tannins. So traditionally, Grenache has been made in Australia in smaller oak, which kind of encourages the tannins. Do you know what I mean? You get fruit tannin, which is already abundant, and then you get oak tannin as well. And so these wines are super, super tannic wines, muscly, gnarly. We've already said that they love to throw crop. They like the sun. They can be really high alcohol. So you get this just abundance of everything. Do you know? They can be a lot. So as I said, the trick is to limit them. And so what we want is we want an upswell of fruit, because the fruit is always going to speak of raspberries, red licorice, like it's pomegranate, strawberries. It's going to be this beautiful kind of tidal wave of red fruit. But what we want is the tannins, which are also abundant, to compress the fruit. We want them to really dive deep into the fruit and create balance, tense balance, but balance. That's the trick. And that's what McLaren Vale is doing really, really well. So let's start. In the first glass, we've got the 2021 Aphelion Wines Confluence Grenache. So this is $35. It sits in the middle of the range. There's the Welcome, which starts at circa 25 maybe. And then the Rapture, which is very limited. I think there's 900 bottles or something, $80 a bottle. And the reason why I've chosen this is because it's available, it's delicious, and it's a really good example of what Robert Aphelion is doing. You can get a real sense of his house style. So here we've got like there's a little bit of Canotto and orange zest, blood orange, raspberry, red licorice. It's really kind of exciting and exotic on the nose and in the mouth. The tannins here are a perfect example of what it is that I'm talking about. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just buy a bottle of this, drink it, you'll understand. The tannins are very, very fine, but they're everywhere. So you get this gorgeous tannic experience, but it's not overdone and it's not overbearing. It's elegant, it's fresh, and it's super exciting. So this is a really, really great place to start. Aphelion is very popular for a very good reason, although he's a very small producer. So I think just the cool people drinking them, and us. In the second glass is Yangarra. This is the Ovitelli Grenache 2020. Yangarra has got a really big name in Australia for making great wine, both Shiraz and Grenache. And we know this, but it's really good to revisit these producers and make sure that that they're still making these great wines that we think that they're making. They are. I can tell you the hyperbole is warranted. So this is the $75 Grenache that they make in the range. And the reason why I've included this and the High Sands is because I didn't know the price difference between them. This is $75, this is $250. This gives us a really good snapshot of what the producer is doing and what they're about. Obviously certified organic, biodynamic. They're engaging in sustainable and regenerative agriculture. It's a really exciting thing that they're doing. And the wines are excellent. They are excellent. So they're kind of like, what you get is kind of savoury spice, exotic spices, star anise, there's aniseed, there's a little bit of blood plum skin. The tannins are ferrous and chalky and everywhere in the mouth, yet nowhere as well. They're seamless. This is a seamless wine. And the thing that really struck me about the Yangarra wines is that they manage to give you all of these sweet fruit characters. So raspberry, strawberry, you get a bit of pomegranate, but it's not sweet. These are savoury wines, but you get these characters of sweetness. So it makes it quite exciting to drink these. I find them quite thrilling to drink. So I love that. If you haven't tried it, this is a really great place to start. Moving into the third wine, I'm sure that you've had SC Pannell Grenache. Most people have. Steve Pannell's a wondrous winemaker in McLaren Vale. very, very talented. And I chose this wine because this gives a counterpoint to the others. This has got more density. It's got a little bit of black, like dark chocolate. It's got some deli meat, you know, undercurrents of meat. It's really quite fascinating and thrilling. All of it framed within that very fine framework that McLaren Vale does just so well. So this is $65. It's the old McDonald Grenache. The other Grenache, the Pigeon Pear, is the Smart Vineyard Grenache. I found that to be slightly lighter, finer, and more in line stylistically with these other wines. And that's why I've chosen this one, because if we still want to drink within this stylistic framework, this gives us some variety, in my opinion. So that's why I've chosen it. I love it. And it was completely unsurprising that it was good, because we know that we know he's good. That's just got a little bit darker fruit. It's got blackberries and stuff in there with the raspberries. So really delicious and super elegant and super smart. You can see the finesse through the finish. It's just awesome. We come to the High Sands. This is routinely good. Every year I love it. Like I say, it's quite expensive, but really I would encourage you to try it because I think that you will just love it. It is just the epitome of balance, is what I would say. The upswell of red fruit is perfectly matched by the compressed savoury tannins that really drive into it. It's got chalkiness, it's got orange zest, it's got deli meat, it's got raspberries, it's got licorice. It has it all. It's also got quartz and graphite. Like, it's a kaleidoscopic 360 view of Grenache in McLaren Vale. And when I was trying it for the first time, I sort of smelt it and thought, oh, yeah, right, that's pretty good. Put it in my mouth and stopped typing and was like, I think I just need to swallow that and drink it and see what it's like, and then go back to the tasting note, because it was just such a thing of beauty. You know, bush vines planted in 46. It's pretty impressive in itself, right after the Second World War. You can imagine what was going on in that time. But anyway, an incredible wine, and if you haven't, you should. And that leaves us finally with Thistledown. So I was completely unsurprised that the Thistledown wines were good. I've loved them in the past, especially this Sands of Time Grenache. But the thing that really impressed me about it was that these wines are great, not just for the top cuvee, but also for the cuvées below it. And that's very exciting. When you can get a $30 wine that gives you the pleasure and excitement and supple fruit and kind of slinky tannins and all the good experience of the premium wine, it's thrilling. It gives you more confidence in the premium wine, because you go, oh, that was good, this is better. And that's the case with this wine. So the Thorny Devil Grenache is like $32. I was drinking it last night. It's exceptional, it's delicious, but this is better. So this is pure, there's like red licorice on the nose, it's salty, raspberry coulis, it's got it all. And in the mouth, there's blood and ferrous, like I was talking about, there's quartz, there's jasmine tea, raspberry leaf tea. It's got all these really exciting exotic spice characters framed within this beautifully tannic, soft, firm, pliable, ductile kind of space. Like, it's exciting. It's really exciting. And for $80, I think that it really over delivers. So if you haven't already gotten into McLaren Vale Grenache, I hope that this helps kind of demystify some of the detail. I haven't even gone into terroir within McLaren Vale. We haven't even spoken about Onkaparinga Rocks or Blewett Springs or any of the places within. So we'll get to that in the next video, but these really are an excellent start. If you haven't had them, please try all of them and try and get to the bottom of what it is that I'm talking about. I can't endorse them enough. McLaren Vale Grenache is thrilling and pleasurable in equal measure.